Welcome to today's aftermarket trade recap. This is a little bit of a delayed video. This was technically supposed to be made on the 25th of July, so Thursday. This was Thursday's price action. I just wasn't able to get to it, and so now this video is coming out later. It's pretty early in the morning here, but yeah, just getting into it. Real quick here, I haven't uploaded in like 2 weeks. I'll get more into that at the end of the video and also explain why I'll be making a separate video on that, as I think it will help a lot of people out. Before I get into that, I just want to get over the trade recap real quick. So basically, before I even get into that, just want to say I was on a quick break, which again I'll get more into. That is the reason why I didn't upload. But while I was on the break, I did notice that we had finally broke structure on the daily, on the weekly. We broke structure. That's big. And then obviously 4 hour now we're obviously breaking structure, and so that is the one reason for the strong conviction of shorts, as well as I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. We literally had an almost 700 point move to the downside in one day. So with all that in mind, I'm very short biased going into every session as of right now. But again, one thing too, I wasn't on in the AM session because technically it's been like a 2 week break. I haven't really been on that much at all today, or Thursday was technically the first day. So this is the first session that I've really looked at in the week. But obviously using the AM as reference, I got on around a little during lunch hour, I would say. I saw in the AM we had a V-shaped recovery. Obviously realized this was, correction for price to move up before possibly seeing lower. So coming into the PM right before, started marking out all these targets I had, inefficiencies, sell side levels, and the last target being these equal lows down here. Once we got into PM session at 1, we did have a open low high close, taking out this buy side level, kind of turtle souping it almost, as well as here these equal highs. Turtle soup these equal highs, end up coming lower. One thing I do want to say is obviously again my entries are going to be off inversions. I was looking at the 6 minute. Now if I would have entered off the 6 minute, I would have lost a decent amount of equity. So in profit terms. So one thing I realized is this could have most likely have been, good to take it off the 5 minute, as a 5 minute is a high time frame, and capturing on that extra time just isn't very necessary, especially because this is the most optimal entry for the most optimal risk reward. Another thing is too, along with after taking my break, going forward, I will be doing a lot more forward testing and paper trading, and more so, stepping away from live funds and my top step accounts, which I'll obviously make obvious in every video, either the title or by explaining that. So yeah, this is a very, large trade, I guess you could say. But this is hypothetically speaking with a large amount of contract sizes. So as it is a forward test. So the most optimal trade uh, management for this position would be highs above or stops above these highs, which is around almost a 50-point stop, which would definitely not be my normal stop size, and then having a 300-point final TP, which which is obviously like an insane risk reward of 1 to 6. But holding that far, I'd have to have a decent amount of contracts on uh, being traded, which is not the normal for me. So getting into it, after this inversion, have the entry here. First target would have, taken partials off here. 15-minute, taking partials off here. Price ended up coming down even lower, taking out these two. Partial, coming up higher. I'm surprised we didn't take out these equal lows. We were literally like a tick away from taking them out before continuing lower right before session close, 10 minutes before. Ended up taking out the final take profit of these equal lows, and that would have been my final take profit hit. Again, just a forward test, but this is exactly what I had mapped out before price proceeded to take out all these targets of interest. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the trade recap. And then just again going into the break situation, I just basically had a lot of things going outside of the charts that started to affect me emotionally and mentally. Again, outside the charts, but obviously, as a lot of people know, it's going to affect you on the charts as well. And when you're someone who's especially dealing with live capital on the line and you start making certain mistakes, you have to be consciously aware of that and understand that it's okay to take a break. I hadn't taken a break from the charts in a long time, so it's definitely good to do that as well, especially when things are going rough mentally. So yeah, going forward, to kind of get back into the situation of things, I will be forward testing slash paper trading. Probably start with forward testing, work the way up to paper trading, before eventually going back to live funds and my top sub to accounts and stuff like that. And again, I'll probably make a separate video, like I said, just because I think there's some good points that I can cover, which would be really good for my personal documentary on my journey, to something to look back on, in times to see how far I've came, as well as reference points for me. But I think it'll be very good for anyone who's ever in the same position, and I think I could just possibly give some words to help. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. I don't know if I will be on in the AM, as yeah, I hadn't really slept so far yet, and I'll probably be on in the PM. But if not tomorrow, then most likely come next Monday or Tuesday, depending if we have news on well, since I'm forward testing, yeah, I'll probably not be on Monday. So that's it for today's video. So I'll see you guys either tomorrow or next week.